one I want to use for some various podcasting and things. I was going to use OBS, but I'm excited to check this one out as well.
Cool. So we are live, I think, on YouTube and Twitter. Timo here. Got John with the .solar contract and Ignacio with the .ints contract. And so we're going to do some programming with Cursor.ai, and we're going to look at the different contracts and just kind of play around and see if we can break some shit and then fix some shit. So we'll go from there. Why don't we start? I'm going to start with sharing my screen here. Entire screen. And tell me when you guys can see that, right? You can see cursor?
Yep.
Okay, let me go here. What's better if we go like multi? I can't see it right now, but if we go multi, can you guys see yourselves there?
Yeah. Yeah, we're basically mostly you, and then like just 3 on the side for me. So
you can see cursor?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then what we're going to do also is I have the insurance app up here. And so what we got going is a swarm, right? So an AI agent swarm to ensure nature and natural capital, stocks of flows and natural capital. And if you look closely, there's ints there. I'm following around, and then we got nice. I got solar in there somewhere, John. I can't really see it, but if you go,
it's okay.
If you click on the shield, it takes you to the groups. And then what we're going to do here, and you guys can just go to your own group if you want, but why don't I go to .solar, because I think I already have a couple accounts set up here. So I'm on insurance app groups and solar, and these are accounts that can become agents. And for both of you guys, I think what we should do is start, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and this little tiny, can you guys see the bottom of the screen there?
Yes.
So it says based on chain, and this is going to change as you go to different groups and accounts. So like right now it says group, and Citus is always going to be there, and those are going to take you to like this is the factory contract. It's going to take you to Basescan, to the factory of where all these contracts are deployed. And so it shows every single on-chain group here that's part of the protocol. And then like we're on solar. So if I went to group, it's going to take us to John's contract. And all these contracts are all the same. So Ignacio, if you go to .ints for your trees and whatnot, it's going to be the same thing. You can look up here, like where it says .solar, but it'll say .ints for you. It'll say .basin for me, .refi for Monty, whatever. And all this stuff is on chain under the hood. So like, you can read the contract. You can look at the metadata address. You can look who the owner of the contract is. And then you can obviously write the contract, and you can plug this into any front end you want, basically. So like if you want to mint, you could mint, John, like if we're right here, like we have .solar set at 0 price right now, and the public buying is turned off, so only the owner of the contract could mint. But I could type in, I'm not going to do it right now, just because I have to connect another wallet. But like if I did, fund, and then it would be fund solar, fund.solar, it would automatically apply there. And then I would type in whoever I want to hold that account. And then you can add a referral address, and you just write the contract, and it will mint that account. So it would end up showing back here. And so Ignacio, same for you. You go to, you basically could go, you can search up here and go ints, and it will show us the group. And you don't have any accounts yet, Ignacio, so we could create one here later in the call. But basically that contract, if you're on the, so we just go back to the bottom, and you go group, and we could go, write contract, and then we could mint. Like what were we talking about, Ignacio? Sequoias and redwoods. Like what would be one of the first demo ones you wanted to do? If we can't hear you, I think you're muted.
I was like, yeah, let's do Keole. You know, the Keole. I've talked about that for years. QUE ULE.
Hold on, I have to. I'm gonna have to do. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to do. Bear with me. I'm gonna have to do Teams. And this is we're using just a multi-sig for this.
Oh, cool.
So you guys can use like a MetaMask to do this if you wanted to. Coinbase Wallet doesn't work on this right now, but like, so let's just make sure. So I'm on .ents, and just to verify, I'm going to make sure my multi-sig is the owner of the contract for now. This will eventually be you. But yep, FF96. And so I'm going to go write contract. And this, I'm using Wallet Connect because I'm using this Teams split Teams app. And so I go here. I'm going to just connect. And I might have to I'm going to have to refresh it, I think, here. So if you use MetaMask, it's much faster. The Wallet Connect kind of has cookie issues. Let's see, copy it. Let's see, connect and disconnect. And so you can enable, while we're doing this, you can enable public minting also. So like people could do this permissionlessly, and you could like, John, you could sell .solar accounts, and Ignacio, you could sell .ints accounts, or you can do a whitelist or an allow list or whatever on the custom minter contract. But let's go here. So now we're connected, Ignacio, to your double check. We're .ints, right. We're connected here. And so we're going to go down to mint, and I have the price set at 0 right now because of the minting's turned off. So how do you spell Keolis? Q?
QUEULE. So that's one tree, Keole. And if you put an S, it's a bunch of Keoles, right?
So let's think about this, because this will be an on-chain name, right? And it's immutable, and we could always mint the plural version or the singular later if you want. It would just be a separate ID. But like what you and I talked about is like basically trust funds for Keoles or redwoods or sequoias or bristlecone pines. So would you want it to be singular, or would you want it to be plural?
I'm thinking, what if we put like Keole 1 and we mint like just the first like Keole 1, and we mint like for one specific tree that actually would be TR's tree. He was the one who invested in Keole number 1 in our collection. So we could be minting his own, like his address for his tree or something like that. I don't know. It's an idea. It could be that, or we could mint for the whole species.
So what we could do, like, so like you could do, 1, you could do, 5, 6, 7, or, you could do whatever. You could, you could do an emoji here,
right.
Like tree if you wanted to. I'm just showing you, and then it would still mint, and you can only use hyphens in the name. You can't use dots, no dots or no underscore, and the contract will check that. There's also what you could do is hex H3. This is what we talked about the other day.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So now anyone can go there and kind of like, or only the contract owner. You're the contract owner, so you're able to set up what you're setting up in that contract, right? Within Basecamp.
Yeah. So right now, I'm the owner, right? My multi-sig is the owner.
Right.
But we're going to transfer it to you, and then you're the owner.
And then I will have to do this.
Yeah, you can do this, or you'll be able to use our front end. Like over here, there's a create button, and we'll be adding an interface. Once public minting is live, if you want to do public minting, it would basically show up here, and then you don't have to deal with a contract. Like it does it for you.
Yeah.
But you could do permissioned, where you're the only person who can mint. You could do semi-permissioned, where you set up a minter contract and they have to have like a NFT in their wallet or be on an allow list. Because what you can do is up here, like change minter. So you can enter any minter address, and as the owner, you can change it. And right now it's just set to a default minter, but that's how you do an allow list, or you can do like, let's see, buying enable, this thing down here at the bottom here. So you toggle buying domains. So what you could do is you would just turn that on, and then anybody, and right now the price is set at 0. So you got to be super careful. Like anybody could come in and mint, a bot could come in and just like mint tons of names, right? Not tons of accounts. So you want to be careful about turning that on, is what I'm getting at.
Or at least make it more than 0 if you're going to, I assume.
Yeah, exactly. That would be yeah,
Got it.
exactly. So like let me so the other thing we talked about, Ignacio, is this is the H3 library, which is Uber's open source like hex library. Like, it's like basically if you
Yeah, I checked that out.
Yeah, so it's like all like, you can do big areas like that, or you can like, if we wanted to do a specific tree, right, you could like narrow down, you could go way down, like
Yeah, to the.
if you wanted. So that's kind of what I was getting at. I was thinking for today's demo, what we should do is do the species level. So like,
Yeah,
I guess I would think about in terms of like redwood plural. I'm kind of thinking through redwood.ents, redwoods.ents, keoles. What do you think?
Should it also thinking about scientific name, like maybe it should be like the regular name and in singular, like it feels, because ents already have like an s, so it could feel like too redundant, the sound of keoles.ents or redwoods.ents. Como que it's too much of an s maybe. So
okay, so we
keep
can change that. Yeah, so you can, the beauty is you can mint something different than this later. Like
Exactly.
You could do keoles, and you can always burn this. Like there's a burn function here. So right up top, I think it's so you could go burn, and then you could enter whatever one you want. But you want to make sure it's an account, right? So you want to make sure there's no assets in that account before you burn it, because if there's if you put 10 ETH in the account, and you're going to burn that, you're going to brick the name. But let's go 0. And so John, the purpose of it here is you can do all this on your contract too. So this is just an example, but like,
yeah, I popped it up and I'm kind of just poking around. I don't know what some of all these are, but I don't have specific questions right now. I'm seeing like,
cool.
Like even I was getting down like default names. What are default names?
That we're not using that.
Okay.
Those would be, we could actually use it, but that would be like if, like, we set you up with a .tokyo account, right? Or let's just use me, for example, because I have multiple right now, like Timo.basin. If I wanted, I did Timo.solar, right? If I wanted to do Timo.ents or Timo.tokyo, if I search here, like, you'll see all my different accounts. So like if I wanted to do a default account, like I could set Timo.earth as my default. That's what that function does. Across the whole, the whole protocol has a resolver, and basically it would help resolve, like, oh, I want Timo.earth to be my main name, on this app. But we're not using it right now, but we could if we want.
Got it.
But Ignacio, let's just look at this real quick.
Sure.
That's spelled right. Can you see that?
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So mint 0. That's the price is 0, and I'm just sending it to our Teams account for now. Let's just go back here. And I might have lost the connection while we did all that. That's the only problem with Wallet Connect is this freaking it disconnects here. Yeah, see how it disconnected?
Yeah.
See. And if you're using MetaMask, you wouldn't really run into this issue because it just connects. But we're using this we're using this Teams account with a pass key, so it kind of
so it splits everything.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's just that way I'm not risking our private keys, like that own all this stuff. It's all based on a passkey. You'll see it. It's like Coinbase Wallet, right? But okay, now you gotta spell it again for me, Ignacio.
It's Q-U-E-L-E. No, Q-U-E-U-L-E.
Ellie, is that
It's
right?
a tricky one. Yeah.
Or do you want to do? Do you want to just do a normal, like easier one for now, like Redwood or Sequoia or?
Sure. Let's do Redwood.
Redwood. Okay, that way we can remember it. I don't have to ask about the spelling. Okay,
Yeah.
Redwood, right? So singular, right? And I verify my address. Go right here. There's something going on with Wallet Connect. I wonder if it's the screen sharing. It's like not. I might have to turn screen sharing off and see how it's saying connected, but it's like not the modal. The modal's not popping up. It must be something with screen sharing. Why don't you guys play around with the contract for a second? I'm gonna turn the screen sharing off and see if I can get the thing to mint. Okay, and feel free to ask questions why I'm doing this. But I guess one of the main things is that all these contracts work the exact same. So if you're, Wasabi doing Coconut or, with Timo doing .basin, they all operate the same and they all have the same functionality. But the cool part is however you want to use them, that's like the exciting part to me. Like, it's not working. And we don't actually have to mint these right now because we have, we have some other accounts we can use, like to do demo. Yeah. But I was thinking it would be kind of cool to show you how it gets like set up.
I think I got it, man. Like I think I could handle, like I haven't in the past write contract straight on an Explorer, but it seems interesting and it seems straightforward. You have 29 functions and you have to interact with one of them, and the one's important is the mentor and what else, the price. Did I got it correctly? Am I missing one important function?
Yeah, burning. We can do a deep dive on that on later.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I have a Twitter space at 4 that's actually about AI agents. If you want to jump in, like it's a Chilean collaboration to talk about LATAM AI agents. So I'm going to be talking about this.
Okay, cool.
So I gotta go in 20 minutes, but I'm curious about how we set up the ELISA agent within this account. That's the thing that's getting me very curious.
So let's do that next. So
so I mean, just high level, just looking at so this is essentially the way we mint all of these .solar, etc. These, how do you refer to them? They're not domains. What is the best way to, like, because I keep thinking it's basically an ENS, but it's not an ENS. Like what term do you use, just so I start to get consistent for one thing?
So what we are doing is we call the group, right? So .solar or .ints is an on-chain group or an insurance group.
Okay.
So just you're just a group.
Okay.
And you can do So the group is made up of accounts.
Okay.
So the names are accounts, and when they're run by humans, we just call them accounts. But when we convert them to agents, they become agents themselves, or they become agent accounts. So it's like we're viewing everything in kind of like a semi-autonomous world. Like it has, imagine the human is the operator. Like you're the agent operator, or the agent steward, the agent jockey, the agent manager, whatever. We're using operator. And so you as the human own or control the agent or the account. And it's really just an agent account. So like, because once you enable the agent capability, the agent will manage the account, and we'll get into that. Like, you'll be able to like interact, or anyone will be able to interact with the agent, with the LLM, and say, I have a project, a solar project, will you fund it? And the agent will say, oh, maybe, and tell me about it. And then agent might be like, okay, I just sent you 100 USDC, and it uses its account, and that autonomously does that. So like so Ignacio on redwood.ints, for example, if you want it to fund redwood conservation, the agent would have control over all the assets in its account. And so like a good example might be, you can kind of start to visualize this if you go to
at the end of the day, these are still utilizing 6551. So are these accounts are each, you are still just minting a 721 with each of these
Yep.
accounts essentially, and then the 6501 capability, or using what is already there, is then the address. I see. And then then we would be spinning up agents secondarily that can control one of these accounts. Got it.
Yeah, totally. So you're like totally tracking. So like, can you see the elk.basin, for example?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So just imagine like this, it could be, fund.solar, right? Or it can be redwood.ints, and the format is all the same. And if you hover over, it shows you its wallet address. So that's its on-chain name, right? And then its wallet is this. And I can copy it to clipboard just by clicking it. And then this is its wallet, right? Like, so it's showing, we've put all these different NFTs in its wallet. These are certificates of insurance, but you can put any NFT in its wallet. You can look at like, okay, what does it have on Polygon? Oh, it collected one of our blog posts over here on Polygon, right? And it's collected a bunch of other stuff on Zora. And if you go back to base, that's, and then let's see how much money it has. Oh, elk.basin has, $500 of insure, has a little bit of ETH, $10 of ETH. And when we enable the LLM, the agent behind it, the agent can access, it checks its balance, it knows what its purpose is, and then it can start to do stuff in the world. And John, on your technical question, yes, these are 721s. And so a cool thing, like, so if you scroll all the way to the bottom again, remember how I said it changes? Mm-hmm. So like you can click OpenSea, and it shows you all the same stuff we just saw. And you can click this little @ symbol here, and it shows you all its it's named different on OpenSea, but like collectibles,
sure,
currency. And then you go back
One
here.
Question,
yeah, go ahead.
Timo. So one of the accounts can hold any type of asset within the chain it's on, and also can it own other accounts as well? Like, for example, one mother agent that can hold the other like agent sons,
It can. Let me see if I can find an example of that. So what we call those are nested accounts.
Nested
account. This one might not be base. But yeah, so to answer your question, yes, you can. I'm trying to remember which one has a nested account in it. We did some watersheds, like just as test. Colorado. Oh, we did Colorado River, but like. But yeah, so what would happen, Ignacio, is right here. It would show the account right here.
Yeah.
Yep. So because any 721, any 1155. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And this is 6574. No, what is the contract? The name.
So the standard So if you go to OpenSea, all these are ERC 721s.
Okay.
They're fully just non-fungible tokens.
Okay.
And they're enabled with ERC 6551.
6551. Yeah.
Which is token bound, and it has a whole SDK. And so, like, here's an example. Like, you can actually go. So let's go back to elk.basin. If you go down, and we have the token bound link down here at the bottom, it'll take you to the token bound app, and it will show you all the same. You see what I'm getting at? Like, all this stuff is on chain. So, like, what you see on Rarible, what you see on OpenSea, what you see on token bound,
of course,
is basically the same stuff.
At the end of the day, so you've built, so insurance is mainly a UI, or is there? Yeah, I guess it's mainly a UI for both creating and looking at and managing, like, the group.
Yeah. So exactly. So the insurance, the whole, like, protocol, right, is this is just a client. The way to think of, like, insurance.app, it's just another way to display on-chain information, and we're displaying it in our way, where you might want to build .solar for your contract in a different way, and you might not show any other of these groups. We're trying to show everybody's group, where, you know, .int might just show their stuff. Like, so what you could do, like, let's just use .solar for example. You know, you could display this information however you want, basically. And, like, you know, so we've created a page for you here. You'll be able to add, like, contact information, description, whatever. But it's just pulling on-chain data. So these, you know, like Timo.solar, like, we don't have anything in there yet, but it's pulling. If you go to OpenSea, it's just going to pull up the same stuff. And we have to refresh metadata on this stuff. Like, you know, when you mint something new, you have to refresh the metadata. But yeah, so insurance is the front end, basically. It's just a UI, and you can do whatever you want with your front end, or you can fork our front end. And then the contracts that I showed you first are what's running the whole thing.
Right.
And then Eliza is how you make it an agent. So, like, that's like so if we go to let's just go to, you guys have seen these guys, but if we go here and we say, you know, hi, can you guys see this still? Hi, Rise.
I can't. I just have to move my camera.
So, like, this is this agent, and it's so that's someone else's agent. That's see Rise right there.
Mm-hmm.
Rise is one of our agents that just responded, and it's using the Telegram client from Eliza. You know, so if you go, so this is I'm in Cursor, and this is Eliza. And so if I go here to packages, I guess I can't zoom in, but if I go to packages,
I see it correctly. Yeah.
Okay, and so, like, if I wanted to like see what's going on with Telegram, I would just go in here. This is, and we're not really editing these clients. Like, I have a few tweaks, but what we're trying to do is stay in sync with upstream Eliza. And so, John, your question earlier around Eliza, they're calling it Eliza OS, so an operating system. And so, like, if you, like, pull the upstream, you know, all this is all the whole package. It's a mono repo. It all works together, but it's all independent, and you can basically determine what you want to show. So, like, at the agent level, like, you can go to agent.index, and then all these imports here, like, let's do Shift B. So, like, you see all these, like, imports. These are all plugins. And so we're using mostly their default plugins. We've deleted a bunch of plugins that we're not going to use from other chains, other just weird things. We're building our own plugin right here, this on-chain plugin, which I need to fix the import path. But this runs at the agent level. And then what you do is, on top of the agent itself is just the agent file. This is what runs every single agent, which is crazy. And if you go to characters, Like we can go to, we'll do rise.hire because that's what we were just looking at. So character file is what runs the personality of every single agent. So you can come in here and you can customize, like I'm showing my Telegram token, which I probably shouldn't, but
I didn't see, and well, we are live, I guess. That's
yeah,
when you
but
probably
it's
shouldn't
okay.
say it.
Yeah, but like
Um,
you know, like that's a public address, that's its on-chain name. This is its bio, a contemplative guide, you know, bridges ancient wisdom. It's got lore, like so, you know, for .ints, like lore is going to be super fun and important. It's got knowledge, and then you determine its personality and everything through message examples. We can get into this, but I'm going to stop there because that's a lot. But it's like the way to think of it is like on chain at the bottom,
yeah.
right, and then Eliza on top of it, and they link together. We're working on a method that they are always linked together by wallet address, and then you have clients. You have Farcaster, Twitter, Slack, your own website. Like where there's like the direct client right here. Like if I go to,
Just real quick, but
ahead.
this is where then like where you're setting its profile essentially. Is this where like when Iwaki's talking about, okay, I made the Vitalik agent and I fed it all of Vitalik's writings, would you just copy, paste, dump that all into that character file? Is that effectively how that's done?
Yeah, so they're doing Infinite Region right now.
And I know they're a
Python.
little different because you said they're not using Eliza, etc. So there's that, but
They're not
in
using Eliza.
general, with these Eliza agents, that would be where you would give it all of its context, or you point it to a file full of context, or
yeah. So what you would do is you can do typed knowledge in here, and then you can go to Eliza. So you can actually use eliza.gg is like a good place to start. And you can ask like, you know, like let's do file to knowledge is, I know that's the name of the plugin for it. But you can ask basically the documents, anything about the Eliza framework.
okay.
If I go back here, they got rid of the, I wonder where the, they changed it. Docs. There used to be a link at the top, but here's the docs to Eliza. And if you go to let's do knowledge, they have really good docs. Let's find their knowledge to data or file. Okay, it might take me a second to find it, but to answer your question, John, there's a repo called file to knowledge that you basically can point it at a path in another repo, and then it converts that to basically a table in your database. So like we're running right now ours on Postgres, and if you guys, we can run your agents for you on our Postgres. Because we're using their adapter, but if you're like Ignacio, you're running this local, there's what's called SQLite, which that deletes the data every single time. So anytime you start a character, it basically deletes the data. So like that's good for development, but if you want to like start to build memory and build more knowledge bases, you want to use like a Postgres, or you can use, they have a Supabase plugin.
Or
yeah, exactly. Yep.
But it's got a persistence package, right? Like Redis persistence or kind of like that.
Yeah, we're not using Redis, but they have a Redis plugin. I think or an adapter you can add.
Yeah, I've used Redis before, so it's kind of like I have a key for them. They have one free key to give you, so still using the free one. But yeah, I think I would use that.
So let me show you here. Like, I made some changes, so let's just see if it should be running, but let's just double check. Yeah, so I have There's something I'm gonna need to fix. I've been messing with the file directories.
Right.
So I have an error right now. I did a rebuild this morning on something I need to fix. I wasn't preparing for this call. But like you can test your characters by running them right here. I know it is. It's my plugin. I don't have this plugin I'm building over here is like we don't have it activated yet correctly. So I got a token bound plugin, and we're building this this like deeper one that's going to extend the base character. So plug in on-chain agents suite. So it's throwing an error on the build right now. But basically, if you go back to the character file, this is like the wrapper that wraps everything in Eliza. So like I have rise.hire running Anthropic right now, right? It's running Claude. But you can easily, if we wanted to, you could just do like, I could change that to OpenAI. And you see how fast. So with Cursor, so that's how fast it changes. So I just type in like Anthropic. Might not. Yeah. See, it already filled out, and then I hit Tab, and it finishes filling it out. And if I wanted, so this is what I wanted to show you too. Here is like if you want like how to use Cursor or how to use whatever it's called, Cursor. So like I go, tell me about this file. Tell me about this file. And I have the file already selected, and it basically will tell you every single thing, right, about the file. And then I could say like, how does it relate to, and I know the path, so I'm gonna do index, so I can do @ index, and I know the path I'm looking for, which is just the basic path is that agent segment. So I'm gonna say, how does it relate to the agent, the index? And then what I do a lot of times when it's a short file name, I just say agent index too, so it knows, so it's just really clear as to what it's looking for. So I just say agent index, and you don't have to, there's a typo in there. And then now it's telling me, how the whole thing. So like, character loads, the client sets up, the model is what I just showed you with Anthropic. It gets the plugins, and then it does the runtime, which is this is runtime down here, which is throwing an error. I'm just going to close out of that for now. But that's basically, so you create a character file on top of your Eliza. And what you guys could do for now is if you want to use this how he does it character builder, for let's say Redwood or John, your .solar fund, like I'll drop it in the chat here.
Hey guys, I need to jump off, but I wish I could stay a little bit longer.
That's okay. I'm gonna have to jump in a few anyways. Plus, feels like enough information to stick in my head. Much more. It's not gonna. I'm gonna have to go play a little now. So this is perfect. And if I would be
go
totally
to this link and
just anytime you want, if you want to hop on these streams and just kind of mess around, and as we get going, this would be awesome.
Yeah, I want to repeat this. We need to just find the time. Like I've been so busy lately. I've been working a lot, but this is something that I want to get into my work streams as much as I can. So, hey, thank you guys. Thank you, Timo. You have again impressed me.
I just love. What I really love is how everything just keeps building on it. Like there's a little flavor of so many things we've talked over the last year, maybe even 2 years, maybe even longer than that in everything. Like you're just like, okay, we built this thing and now we're doing this thing. Like I really appreciate the way you've been building as a whole, as a builder, that it really, you're not going on the million side quests. You're just stacking the side quests on top of each other until they start to and it feels like it keeps adding all the tools to get with some of the stuff where we've been talking about, like how we really, actually solve real problems.
Well, like a cool, like what I view this as, John, like I appreciate you guys saying that, but like to me, this is like truly polycentric of like, we give, Solar does what you guys want to do. Ints does what they want to do. Basin, we do whatever we want to do. But then it's all still linked together. Like you go to the factory, you go to that main factory address, and you can query every single group, and you can query every single account, and then you can query what's in those accounts. Oh, I want to airdrop to anyone who holds an INTS token with this NFT. And it doesn't have to just be on the INTS contract. It can be anyone in the whole protocol. So they're part of the protocol, and then they have those things in their wallet or their account, and it's like super easy to query. You just write a script on it, and it's right there. So
yeah,
cool.
Exciting stuff. Thanks. No, this gave me a ton of information.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I am gonna say goodbye.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, and hope we can see each other soon.
Yes.
Okay. See you guys.
Are you going to be at ETH Denver?
No,
Timo?
I'm not this year.
No, I know you say you're not, but
I already did.
I'm debating it. I mean, I'm only a few hours away, but like, I don't know, dude. I feel like I get so much more done just like, doing this. But I'd like to come see people in person.
I was gonna say, pop down for a day or something for one. I either like, they're gonna do the Shelling Point. That probably is a cool day. Like a lot of probably if you did that day, you'd at least see a lot of the cool people you want to see. If I had to guess, but I hear you. Like, I already know like I'm gonna spend all that time there, and like it's only gonna. I mean, I'm going to go, but it's lost time to some degree for sure. Like the real work is at my desk.
Yeah, but I'd like to see people in person, right? Because it's fun to do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So all right. Well, yeah, appreciate all the insights and everything you've been building. I'll play around a bit. It sounds like if I am like, okay, I want to do the first couple of things, I should go create an account for myself for an account that I'm going to use for an agent. Then you go maybe try and spin up even a very basic agent that owns it and just start like, that's probably the loose path to like what you've given me the tools for right now. And then that's probably going to provide 8,000 questions for the next time we chat.
Yeah, I think the best thing would be if I look at your, what'd you say, fund.solar? Was that kind of what you?
I think that was weird. Yeah, I mean, I was blurry-eyed this morning when I woke up, and I was like, I guess of those three, that sounds. The other two just sound a little more like you're investing in something, or depending what I used it for, like.
Right.
I don't want to. But.
So what we could do is do. I'll mint fund.solar, and then do you see that how he does it link? I shared it in the chat, the private chat.
I opened it in the
So that is like the general Eliza character format. So if you fill that out, like saying, okay, fund.solar is an account, but it's going to be an agent. This is how I want it to act. This is how I want it to talk. This is what I want it to know. Like do all that shit, and then send me the JSON. And then we'll clean it up, and then we'll put it in our Eliza, and then it'll be running. Like we'll just get it running, and you'll see how it works. And then we're John, like getting to a point where we'll be able to like run as many agents as we want on our Eliza. But the beauty of this is you don't have to use ours. You can use your Eliza. You can, Ignacio can use his Eliza. Like you can use, you can run them just locally when you want to turn them on at night on your computer. Like you don't have to use ours, but what we're trying to do is
if it lives with you, can you move them? I guess it's as easy as moving the.
So so it'd be basically, you just say like, Timo, like we don't have like an off button, but we would just stop the process and restart that part of the server, and then it's just disconnected. What we're trying to come up with a way where the character file is linked, like the wallet basically knows that only one character is running, like that like someone can't run two fund.solars on Twitter, basically. Like right now someone could easily do that, and then they could change the wallet address and say, hey, we're fund.solar, but that's the thing about Twitter, right? It's not on chain. So people could do spam accounts, and
sure.
But what we're trying to do is make it so that the chat agent, the actual agent, the LLM knows like it's linked in the startup process, like it knows that it's linked to that wallet and it can't change that wallet. So it's always going to tell you that wallet. And like, see what I'm saying? Like, it's like this loop that can't be broken of like, okay, if the agent started on our server, it knows the wallet knows the character, the path, and it's a verification process. So.
And do you end up giving the agent a wallet and then the account sits in that wallet, since it is essentially an NFT? Like, do we give it a wallet which then holds the account? Is that how that works?
Yeah. So the NFT, right, or the account, it has to be in an owner of. So, and that's the controller. So like if we send fund.solar to you, your MetaMask, let's say, that controls that. There's no seed phrase for fund.solar's wallet. Like it's embedded in Ethereum.
Whatever, right? Whoever holds the NFT controls that wallet.
Controls it. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And then it'll sit in hypothetically my safe. But then does that mean I got to give the ELYZA agent access to my safe in order to control that?
So when I say human operated, if it was in the safe, it's 100% human operated because it has to get it has to get a signature.
Got a signatures.
So the plugin we're building, which it's a little risky, is like you'd put your fund.solar in an EOA, just a MetaMask or whatever, and then you would use the private key in it as an environment variable, and the agent
then would have
it doesn't know the private key, but it's the app is seeing the private key, and then the agent can execute against that. But we know that's risky. So what we're building out is server wallets, basically, that only, it's kind of similar to how Coinbase wallet works. It's like the servers have keys, or basically, an API, it's more than an API key because it's like signing, there's an auth sig. So there's an API key, there's a server secret, and then there's a signer key, which would be passed, that knows that the agent. So you'd actually take fund.solar, you put it in a server wallet, that becomes the owner of, and then the agent can execute using our server APIs around that. And then you as a human would have additional privileges on top of that. Like, so the agent can only control what's in its account. It can't do anything. It can't send itself anywhere else. It only has asset, it can control whatever's in its account, and can't send more than a certain amount. We will set thresholds, policies, whatever. And then as a human, you could say, oh, I want to send fund.solar back to my multi-sig because I don't like that. I found another server wallet set up, so I'm going to send it somewhere else. So this whole thing is modular where it can be moved,
Got it. Okay. Cool. All right. Lot to dig into, and I guess have a nice weekend, and sometime next week maybe we'll catch up again we'll chat async, obviously, in Telegram. We'll find some more time to stream some more stuff.
Yeah, well, like on the .solar contract, man, the sky's the limit as to does do each accounts represent projects? Do you have different accounts that do funding, different accounts that do the accounts can do Web 2 stuff. With the beautiful thing about ELYZA, John, is it can do spreadsheet stuff. It can do it can query blockchains. It can, people are setting up call systems and sales lead generation. And the added benefit of what we're building is that every single thing has a wallet built in. So if you want to use NFTs and you want to do POAPs, and if you want to do donor certificates or whatever, hypercerts, whatever, you can do that on your Web 2 stuff,
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Somebody's calling me, so I guess I gotta figure out where. Okay. Somebody's messaging to say if we can set up a call, but appreciate you.
I like your hat. That's cool.
Thank you. That's where I'm trying to that's where I'm standing, at least for the foreseeable future. I just want to be a place for hope for people.
Okay.